Welcome, I'm Tetsu and today I'm going to teach you how to play Snorlax. On the screen now are some timestamps. Feel free to jump around and check out any section you'd like. If you're not a beginner, I'd recommend starting from the moves section. Firstly, I'd like to talk about held items and battle items. I don't want to go too deep into items at the moment. The meta is still evolving, there'll be nerfs, there'll be buffs. But what I can say are the following items are good: the Rocky Helmet, Leftovers, Focus Band, Assault Vest, and what I believe are great items on Snorlax, and ones I will use, the Float Stone, Buddy Barrier, and Score Shield. Optional, you've got the Experience Share and Aeos Cookie. I think the Aeos Cookie is kind of bad, to be honest, and Experience Share is only really good if you're in a team. And for your battle item, you're going to take Eject Button. I'll explain this one a bit more later, but taking Eject Button allows for so much more combo potential and doubles as a get out of jail free card. Alright, now we're going to talk about moves. Now firstly, I just want to quickly talk about Tackle, because there's some unrealized potential that I'm not sure everyone knows about. Now what I mean is that Tackle resets your combo attack. And if you don't know what that is, I'll show you right now. It's the attack where Snorlax does a body slam. To see when your boosted attack is ready, in settings you can go to boosted attack gauge and turn that on. Now the reason this is relevant is because you can do a body slam, tackle, body slam combo for more damage. For your level 6 attack, you absolutely want to take heavy slam. There's no competition here, it's an AoE crowd control move. Now to preface this, I just want to point out that I think Yawn is a good move, but Block is a great move, and that is why for level 8 we want to take Block. I do want to point out that Yawn can be better for locking down Pokemon with lots of dashes, for example Gengar. I personally just find Block more versatile and rewarding. Essentially my point is that Yawn is good, it's a good stun, it's a good slow, but Block is just so much more versatile. It's damage reduction, it's a stun, it's a zoning tool, and for that reason I take Block pretty much every single game. Okay, so I can hear you saying, what could you possibly teach me about Snorlax's ult? Well, I'm going to teach you two different things about Snorlax's ult. So the first thing is that you can activate your ult again, and Snorlax will do a little belly flop. And number two is something I haven't seen anyone else mention yet, but Snorlax will belly flop in the direction where his right arm was when he was still standing. And I'll just show you what that looks like now in these clips. You might be wondering how you could possibly use that in battle. Well, if you're trying to attack the enemy base, you might aim Snorlax to the top of the screen before you ult, and you can flop towards more enemies. Or if you're trying to play more defensive, aim to the bottom of the screen and flop back towards your base. So for this last section, I just want to narrate over some gameplay and just tell you what I'm thinking and what kind of objectives I'm aiming for. Right out of the gate, my primary objective is to get to the lane as quick as I can and contest that middle crab. It's also really important to remember when Pokemon spawn. So the crab, for instance, behind our goal, that spawns at exactly 9 minutes. You definitely want to get there and get that. Dreadmore spawns at 7 minutes. You definitely need to roam and get to Dreadmore to fight for your team. I'm not going to lie, Snorlax has an awful early game. You basically just want to stay alive, keep the enemy off your teammate, and just get as much farm as you can. So Dreadmore gives your entire team experience and shields. Now the shield isn't really that important, but the experience can make or break your games. Even just getting 1 or 2 levels ahead of the enemy team can easily lead to a snowball. So your role as a tank when you're fighting for Dreadmore is mostly just to zone and CC the enemy team. You kind of want to get them away from Dreadmore. Your damage does not really help take down Dreadmore that quick. Now in this clip I actually had to secure it myself, but most of the time you really don't want that to be happening. Now as a tank in team fights, you either want to be zoning, peeling, or initiating. So zoning is trying to keep the enemy away from your teammates or an objective. Peeling is using your CC with crowd control to keep your teammates alive. And finally, initiating is basically starting a team fight, and normally you would do so with heavy slam. You would jump in the middle, try and knock every enemy up, and then follow it up with a bunch of block. Now, in a similar fashion to the Dreadmaw fight, as a tank, you do not really want to be fighting Zapdos. You want to be zoning the enemy team away from Zapdos. And you can see that I'm trying to do that here. I was waiting for my block cooldown to push the Lucario away. Lucario almost altered that Zapdos. We got a bit lucky there that we managed to get it. But that's basically how you want to be fighting these team fights around Zapdos. Alright guys, that's it from me. I hope you're all staying safe now. I know it's really hard at the moment for a lot of people out of work, a lot of people lost their apartments and so on, lost some loved ones. I just want to let you know I love you all. Stay safe and I'll see you next time.